Have you ever heard anyone say, I need to find myself? Right? Yeah, exactly. Well, if I hear one more person talk about finding themselves, I'm going to lose my mind. Why? Because the idea of finding yourself suggests looking for something fixed and defined. Because how can you find something that's undefined, and yet, how can you define something that's always changing? It's like trying to catch the wind, it'll never work. So, hi, my name is Sophia, and as you can probably tell, this notion bothers me. The idea of finding yourself has deep roots in philosophy and self help culture. Thinkers like Nietzsche, Hegel, and Kierkegaard all emphasize the importance of knowing yourself, often focusing on self reliance, individuality, and the fluid nature of selfhood. Today, this idea is everywhere, especially on social media, where we often hear people say, take a solo trip to Bali, go on a spiritual journey, and find yourself. But when you say that, you're really just trying to freeze who you are in time. When we think of our identity, we consider things like nationality, hobbies, characteristics such as being an introvert or a night owl. And finding yourself usually means discovering all of these things about yourself and sticking to them. But when you describe your identity through such arbitrary markers, it's doomed to fail. But there's also something comforting in believing you know yourself. Declaring that this is who I am brings comfort and control. But the security of a fixed identity is an illusion. It's bound to change. I understand why people talk about finding themselves. In a world full of uncertainty and change, we yearn for something stable at our core, a reliable anchor amid uncertainty. But when you tie your identity to labels, and these labels inevitably change, you're going to feel fear and discomfort. My mother knows this best. She was evacuated from Chernobyl and sent to Cuba, later ending up in the United States before fleeing Kiev with me. Through it all, she realized that it's better not to define yourself through such labels. Strength lies in flexibility, not permanence. And allowing life to guide you can lead you to places you could never have even imagined. I might be an extreme example, but let me share my story. 3 years ago, I was living in my own little bubble, attending a small private school and planning to enter an art college, mostly to avoid math at all costs. But fate had other plans. In an instant, I had to leave everything behind. All my friends, hobbies, and favorite places. Everything. I was thrown into complete uncertainty, the kind of uncertainty that doesn't even feel real at first. Only setting in after numerous conversations with friends and news updates. When I came to the school, I suddenly took an interest to academics. My social life dwindled because I suddenly didn't have any the free time to hang out anymore. Those who respected my commitment to academics remained with me to this day, but others, resistant to change, faded away. Originally, I thought I was going to be an artist, but that label grew to be too rigid, too packed, and I tried to escape it. When I moved to Luxembourg, I met somebody who's now one of my closest friends, and her love for STEM inspired me to explore the fields for myself. At first, exploring something related to math felt like a betrayal to who I was, because since literally forever ago, I'd convinced myself that it just wasn't for me. It was meant for people smarter than me, and I just couldn't do it. But through her guidance, I was able to evolve my identity. This rigid path that I had built for myself wasn't sustainable, and I had to move on. And through all the change that I had experienced and that my mother had experienced, we know that you can't tie yourself to any one thing. No man ever steps into the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. This quote from Heraclitus encapsulates what I wanted to tell you today the most. The only constant in life is change, and you should embrace it. You shouldn't tie yourself to any one thing because life will pull you. It will change that. It will completely destroy what you wanted to build for yourself. So you can't tie yourself to anything. You have to embrace always growing. You're like a mosaic. Your identity is not a puzzle that's ready to be built that you need to find the missing pieces for. It's a mosaic. It evolves with each new experience. So remember, stay open, embrace change. You're the process, not a product.